Hey everybody, it's Kenny Cater again, and I want to bring you a more recent movie from 1997, Campfire Tales. Now, this movie gets a 5.8, which isn't bad on IMDb. It got a 5 for me because the stories were meh, yeah, yeah. You got three tales, and the best one of all is the first one. And you got no four tails, but that fourth one is a mini, what called the hook, a mini black and white tail. You've got yeah. So you've got these kids, Eric, Cliff, and two girls, Lauren and Alex, in their new car, and he jams in a tree, and they're all like stuck, and they're putting flares on the ground, and it's not the time of cell phones yet, or cell phones are still a rarity, and they go into the make a campfire and talk about campfires. Now this, the reason why I watched this movie as a kid, and I remember that it freaked me out, especially the honeymoon segment, and it's all also about, I think, urban legends. At least two are urban legend stories. I'm not sure, but I think all of them are based loosely on urban legends. Now, the first one was The Hook, which had James Marsden in it. He's called Eddie, and Amy Smart. Now, these are known actors. I know them from a couple of movies, and she's Jenny. But basically, they're making out a make-out point. When they see somebody, It's very short, like 5 minutes, and they hear through the radio that a hooked killer has escaped from the asylum, and they hear some screeching, and then they drive away. And when they go to a hamburger joint, she, she she's looking at. She opens the door, and she sees that on the door handle a hook with a fleshy piece of meat is on. So they were just right at the nick of time to get away from that murder, that massacre. That's it. Okay, that's the first clip. Then the longest one, I think the honeymoon was the longest one. So you got now Ron Livingston. I seen him in a few other movies called Rick, and a woman named Jennifer McDonald. I don't know who she is. She's Valerie. It's the two honeymooners. So they are in an RV crossing the country, and they, for the night, they put their RV in this forest area, and they spend the night. So first, what they do, they fuck on the ground. Okay. And then some black guy knocks and is like, oh, okay. He goes and checks. It's a guy with a shotgun. He's like, oh, whoa, whoa, whoa. And he's there with a just hit German helmet. And they say, hey, wait, let me put my pants on. And then he say, no, there are things here. You should watch out. How about things? Look at those. You have all those footprints around your RV, and they see all these weird footprints with weird looking feet. Eventually, the guy says, they got my wife. Now they're coming for me. They're coming for you if you don't get out of here. And then they say, okay, we're gonna get out of here, but they just drive a little bit further because their car stops, and he says, what the hell, we're out of gas. And he says, I just put a full tank in it. Now at the meantime, the black guy is getting killed. He's firing some shots. They don't hear that. They're not far away. They don't hear that. And this guy is taken underneath his car, and you see blood squirting out underneath the car. Okay, so there goes the black guy. He's shooting like random shots, and you see these creatures who look like fucking Ewoks on steroids with sharp teeth and sharp nails, or gremlins. The ripped off, the fucked up gremlins, the killer gremlins I don't know, take your pick. They look like these creatures, more like Ewoks, fuzzy creatures. And then the RV, the guy says, you know, Rick says, oh, it's been siphoned, probably by that dude with the shotgun. And he says, I need to go to get some gas. And then she said, wait a little bit. And then he's going, oh, okay, I'll wait a little bit. And then, oh, they're fucking doggy style, and she's with her hands on the window. There are these shades where she put her hand. Oh! And then you see the creature's hands going on, you know, on the window, putting the hands on the woman, the woman's hands. I mean, between the glass, of course. And after that, he goes outside naked in his willy, still dripping some jizz out. I had the best sex of my life. Okay. Then he goes out. He goes to the guy with the shotgun. Doesn't find him. Only finds his jaw. That's ripped off. And then he gets attacked by these creatures. It's being slashed around and this and that. And he's running away, but you don't know if he gets there. Then the RV gets attacked. And like going through, yeah, okay, you have the RV, this thing to let some air in, this hole in the roof, but it's with, you know, that you could close, I think. It only has this, you know, mesh net for the flies, and there's this creature like, and he goes in. She puts a broom, or with a broom with something, a stick with points in it, instead of closing the hatch. No, she doesn't. A few trying to get through the window. She takes a knife, chop, 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 and then she makes it to morning when the creatures are away. A deputy comes and he says, just get to the patrol car. Get to the patrol car, sweetie. And he's acting weird, but then she sees in the side window of the RV that her husband is hanging upside down, completely flayed by these creatures, and then with his ring, the ring of his marriage, constantly screeching. It's that same, I mean, this movie's from 1997, and Urban Legends, the slasher movie, also came out in 1997. I'm not sure if it came out after this or before this, where they got the idea of a killer killing with urban legends. And you know, the guy from Dawson's Creek gets the same kind of kill, instead upside down. He's hung, and he's just barely, you know, screeching the car with his feet, because if she drives away, he's hung and his neck breaks. So that's why the second one is a very short one. You've got the mom in a house. They go out with the dad. Her sister Valerie is supposed to look over her sister, no, Catherine, sorry, look over her sister Catherine. No, Catherine, the older sister, she's supposed to look after Amanda, her younger sister, but when they close the door, she says, I'm getting out this time, I'm going out, so don't tell mom, I'll fuck you up. So she's making herself ready to go out. She has a beautiful golden retriever. He hides under the bed. She gives him licks, and then at some point she's woken up and she can't find the dog, and you know, horror movies and dogs, it doesn't end well for the dog. She hears him crying. She's going to look for him. Catherine came home, and then she says, she goes back to the bed, and eventually she gets licked, and she's like, ah, and then she looks at the mirror. People can lick too, you know. Then she sees this guy, and she's like, "Wah!" And then Catherine comes out of her bed. She takes this metal poker, and they go to the bedroom, and he's gone through the window. Now this little short could have been a lot better. The killer could have been in, because he had hedge clips as a weapon. This large head from the burning young cropsey, those large hedge scissors, he had that as a weapon. They could have easily used this guy as a killer in the house. You know what I mean? And they didn't, and they just said, "Oh, fuck it, we're gonna do it this way." So that was really short, and that's also an urban legend. The story was different. It's the so this woman comes back from work. She has this big, I think it was a Labrador too, and she gets licked on her feet by the dog. Then she hugs the dog, but then at night she has to go up to go take a pee. Then she sees the dog in the garden with its head off, and then she sees in blood on the wall. People can lick feet too, and then yeah, she gets killed by the killer under the bed. So that's a little bit better, right? And then we go to the last one, and the Locket with a guy named Glenn Quinn playing Scott, whose bike broke down, and he goes to this ancient house, this farmhouse, and this extremely beautiful woman opens the door. She's a mute, she can't talk, Heather, but then her dad comes. She says she lives with her dad. He comes home. He makes like, "Where are you, you hussy? Oh, I know you were. You hussy, I'm gonna kill you." He kills her, chops off her head. Then he kills himself. And what have I done? He just jumps in the well. Now, jumping in the well doesn't kill you, if I know. If he jumps just in the water, he doesn't kill himself. But okay. And this constantly repeats. Constantly repeats. They almost make love because she winds up this little thing that, you know, this wind up toy, and you have a couple dancing and they're kissing each other. But then again, the dad comes home, same scenario, repeat, rinse, repeat, rinse, fucking repeat, repeat. There's then one night that he says, listen, he goes towards the dad, he finds the dad, then eventually he says, but she can't talk when her dad is home. What did I do, Daddy? She says. And then he says, let's get the hell out of here. So the dad, when they're outside, he looks at him, doesn't say a thing, just jumps in the well, and they're outside in the sun, like on a picnic blanket. She's kissing him, they're in love, and then she says, I don't know what's happening to me. She just can't talk, and nowhere, because she had this little locket, and the locket is her with him. So apparently he was, and then you see this stripe, bloody stripe coming from her neck, and it starts bleeding, and her head falls off. Same, it's because the dad came home again, killed her. She's a ghost, part of the house. That's why. The guy isn't, but the reason why the dad killed her was because she lost her virginity to the guy in the locket, which looked like Scott. And that's why she fell in love again. What a fucking stupid story as an ending. It's so lame. Wasn't scary at all. And the dog thing, okay, you see the guy, and then they go in and you see the dog, of course, throat being cut, you know. Don't like that shit. Like I said, the only thing is the RV. You get 2 sex scenes and one and a little bit of gore. I like the RV situation because you're surrounded by these evil Ewoks, and they're basically, you know, destroying everything, and I like that because she's isolated in there. She only has the things that she has in there, and I like that. And then there's this little twist around to wrap around with the Campfire kids. He goes and and he is being resuscitated. The other ones are dead. Then you see all the characters. So apparently the sports car he was driving almost hit the RV with the honeymoon couple. You see the honeymoon couple saying, where the hell did they came from? You see the black guy with the shotgun. He's one of the cops. You see the beautiful woman with Scott, the ghost. There are two of the paramedics. They're resuscitating him, and then he sees the three friends in the forest. One of it is with his girlfriend, and it's sad, but it's not. It's a bummer. It's a fucking bummer. This movie is a bummer. He gets a tear on the end, and then he dies because he knows he's in fault of their deaths, their young deaths, and he dies. They were trying to resuscitate, and they say he's gone. And then he rejoins his friends, and his girlfriend hugs him. I always shed a tear. It's so sad. What the fuck, you piece of fucking horror movie? It's a horror movie. It's not a fucking drama. It's not a fucking. Jesus fucking Christ. Almost got me crying here. So no, I watched this movie as kids, and the only one that I remember was the licking thing, and then the RV scene, mostly the RV scene. And that freaked me out when I was 16, but it didn't freak me out now. That's the goriest scene. It's the most horrific scene. The dog thing too, but the killer just ran away like a pussy. But the locket scene and the hook thing, barely 5 minutes in. So I'm giving it a 5. You know, I'm not a big anthology fan because it was based on urban legends. I thought, oh yeah, okay, like urban legend, the slasher movie, you know, with was a guy anymore there from 30 Seconds to Mars, Jared Leto and such. Give it a 5. Give it a watch. Like if you like the damn video. Subscribe. It's free for more fun horror content. And comment if you liked it or not, and which segment you liked the most. See you next time. Bye.